This man is about to disappear and disappear forever. His name's Tim, and Tim was a 32-year-old husband and father from Ancaster, Ontario. And on May 6, 2013, Tim posted an ad online to sell his pickup truck. It was nothing unusual, just a way to make some extra cash, I guess. And that evening, a couple of potential buyers reached out. They wanted to see the truck in person. Nothing seemed off with them. They were polite, asked normal questions, and said they just wanted to take the truck for a quick test drive. At about 9:20 p.m., Tim left with the two men, and his wife Charlene watched him go, expecting him to be back soon. But that was the last time she would see her husband live. And as the minutes turned into hours, Tim did not return home. And at first, Charlene tried to stay calm. Maybe it was taking longer than expected. Maybe Tim had stopped by somewhere. But by midnight, Tim had not returned. And then she called his phone, and his phone went straight to voicemail. And then panicked, she called the police and reported him missing. The next morning, on May 7th, police launched an investigation. They tracked down the number used to contact him and started piecing together details. Then came the first chilling discovery. This wasn't the first time these men had asked to see a truck. This was obviously planned, and Tim was not their first target. Now, before we continue with the police investigation, let's talk about these two men. So who were they? Who were these men? Let's start with this guy, Dylan. He was 28 at the time, and Dylan wasn't just any criminal. He came from wealth. His family owned a very popular aviation company in Canada at the time, and on paper he had everything. He had his money, his career, and a bright future. But behind those closed doors, Dylan was, for some weird reason, obsessed with stealing trucks. And his friend and accomplice, Mark, was 26 at the time. He was a petty criminal and an aspiring rapper. And days before targeting Tim, they had test-driven another truck. But that seller had refused to go with them for whatever reason. I don't know why, but obviously he was lucky and could have potentially been a victim. Tim, unfortunately, was their next target. And as police dug deeper, they traced Dylan's movements, his phone records, security footage, and witness statements, all painted a dark picture. And eventually, 2 weeks after Tim disappeared, police found Tim's truck burned beyond recognition on a farm property owned by Dylan's family. And then the most horrifying discovery, the remains of Tim reduced to ashes in an industrial incinerator. Dylan and Mark had apparently used a cremation machine. It's horrible. With overwhelming evidence, both men were arrested and charged. And at trial, both men presented different theories of what happened on the night of Tim's disappearance. Mark and Dylan attempted to blame each other for the shooting. Mark said he was in a separate vehicle following Tim and Dylan behind, and that Dylan fired a bang-bang on Tim while they were in Tim's truck. Dylan, on the other hand, said all three men were in Tim's truck, with Dylan himself driving, Tim in the front passenger seat, and Mark in the back seat. And according to Dylan's version, during the ride, Mark pulled out a bang-bang and told Tim they intended to steal the vehicle. A struggle ensued, and that Mark had fired the bang-bang accidentally. Prosecutors contended that both Mark and Dylan were in the vehicle and had participated in unaliving Tim. They never definitively proved which of the men used the bang-bang, but they said as long as both had participated in the planning and execution of the incident, both could be charged with unaliving in the first degree, regardless of who used the bang-bang. The jury found both men guilty in the first degree unaliving on June 17, 2016, and they were sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. Here are their pictures. Now, let me tell you something even more wild. It turns out that a year before the incidents of Tim, Dylan's father Wayne was found unalived with an injury through the left eye, apparently from a bang-bang. It was initially ruled that Wayne had unalived himself, but after the trial of Tim, police reviewed Wayne's case and Dylan was charged individually with unaliving his father. Separate trial in June 2018, evidence presented included the fact that Dylan had purchased the bang which had unalived his father, and the fact that Dylan's cell phone had been at his father's home around 1 a.m. that night, where it stayed until shortly after 6 a.m. And on September 24th, 2018, Dylan was also found guilty in the first-degree unaliving of his father, Wade. That's wild. So guys, always stay cautious, trust your instincts, and never take safety for granted, even in the most ordinary situation. What do you think about this case? Let's talk about it in the comment section. And if you want more Stories Unveiled, subscribe and turn on the notification. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.